Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it is Saturday as you are watching this, which means it is BOLO Day. We go through our past week's sales and we bring you some highlights. We like to do a deep dive into what they are, why they sold, a little backstory on them, and hopefully this will help you when you're out there. And Mr. Magazine, why don't you start helping?
All right. This is a 1985 to 88 Topps Garbage Pail Kids lot of series 1 through 15, approximately 1,400 cards.
Ooh.
Now, it went for $515.
Okay.
This was sitting, well, basically what I do is I stockpile. So,
That's like 40, just under between 30 to 40 cents a card. I did that math.
yeah, good for you. That's great. But what happens is I'll get a collection, 100 here, I'll pick up 300 here. And over the course of a year or two, I got 1,400 cards. I will build some sets, and then I'll start selling stuff after I stockpile enough. And, you know, they get off my dead pile.
And I'm going to bet that you paid less than $515 for those cards.
I would say so, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much less, but probably substantially less. Yeah.
Now, can you go down to the listing real quick?
Sure. Yep.
Okay, didn't say anything. No, I was wondering if you mentioned it or if it's important to mention, like, 10% or first series, anything at all like
well,
that?
they were supposed to, but I guess I don't see that in this listing, sadly enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, somebody still bought it.
Yeah, there weren't, unless he showed the early ones. It doesn't look like it, just random ones there. I will have to talk to my lister. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I just was wondering.
Someone did ask about it. So what they were is my sorter put them in order by 10. So, and someone did ask about how many were from Series 1. There wasn't very many. It was mostly Series 3 on back. But these are like card 180 and so.
Now, can I ask one other question about Garbage Pail Kids?
Yep.
I know with Wacky Packs, to use as an example,
Right.
The first series is good, and the last couple of series are good because by that point nobody really cared too much about them. But you get the Series 7, Series 8, Series 9. They're fairly common.
Yeah, they go cheaper down the road. So one's the best, two second best, all the way down to, Series 15 is, from what I gather, isn't much.
Okay, so that's unlike a lot of other things. Okay, great.
All right, next up, here we go. 1985 to 87 Garbage Pail Kids Series 1 through 8 with A, B, and C cards near complete sets. So I think there was a handful of cards missing from Series 1. I think hopefully they put that list in there. Then we're going to have a real problem. There we go. So they put some time into this.
Okay, right.
36 missing cards. But, again, someone sold me a partial set of these, and I filled in with cards that I had out of the groups and the lots I was building over the time.
So definitely, I guess what you're saying is, not just with Garbage Pail Kids, with other things, if there are things that you can see regularly, just pick them up when you see them. You can stockpile them, and then, rather than selling 50 that you get today, save them on up, and then at some point once a year, just go through and get rid of them and then do the work for the next year.
Maximize your profits, sure, and your sales. Next up, what do we have here? 1985 Garbage Pail Kids Series 2 near complete set. So again, I was stockpiling. Someone brought me in a bunch of partial sets, and I completed them as best I could. This was missing 7 cards, and it still went for $76.
Now, is that good? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's probably $100 set complete.
Oh, okay.
If they
were
marketed as complete, near pristine, gradable, then they can go for a premium $200-300. But for the most part, it's $100 set.
So what's Series 1 worth?
Oh man, 500 to 1,000 or more.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean prices are all over the place. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Next up, let's see. We're going keeping with a theme. They redid Garbage Pail Kids. This is a 2021 Outer Space Chase Refractor card numbered out of 50, and it went for $139.99. So again, we have a pattern here. I wanted to get as most as I can out of the Garbage Pail Kids stuff, so we listed everything good so everyone gets views on it.
All at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
Yep. And that's kind of crazy that I mean, I didn't realize it's 1 out of 50, but that went for $139, whereas a near set or a whole set of Series 2 only goes for $100.
Yeah. And that's a B card. Imagine if you have a whole set of those. I mean, look at A's and B's.
Wow.
And I think there's some C's that are super rare and super refractors and sign cards. So, yeah, it's gotten kind of out of hand, but a lot of collectors out there still.
Wait, they got the Garbage Pail Kids themselves to sign things?
The artists.
Oh.
Yes. I don't know. A lot of them may not be in shape to sign right now. Moving on.
Yeah, they've had some problems.
Night Magazine, Volume 5, Number 12, May 67. Jane Fonda on the cover, Raquel Welch. CGC graded 8.5. It was in great shape. You don't see this issue hardly ever. I may have had one before in poor condition. I decided to grade it. Someone made me, we've had it up for maybe a year. Someone made me $100 offer. I said, no way. And then they came back, and I think I took $500 on it. And generally you might be able to get $50 raw on this. So
Now, is that obviously that magazine can be sold on eBay? Is it one of those risque ones or not really?
I think Night's okay as far as I know, unless like the later issues were a little more revealing. But generally, I don't sell these on eBay because I don't want to take a chance because it's graded. Maybe eBay looks at it like, well, if the company's willing to grade it, it must be okay. I don't know.
Well, and the other thing too is, let's say that did have some nudity.
No one will ever know.
Nobody is buying that
Yep.
in 8.5, crack it open
Exactly, yep.
to
True.
look at naughty bits.
True. Yeah. Exactly. And last.
That's what you would have said, right? Naughty bits.
Well, never. But okay. I've never heard of that before. But what I have heard of is Scene Entertainment Magazines, Volume 10, number 22, 1979. Sigourney Weaver from Alien on the cover. And Alien's always popular. Any vintage, periodicals, magazines, anything, advertisements, theater advertisements, anything you can find is going to sell.
And I'm assuming that sold fairly quickly too, because that's the other thing with Alien stuff.
Yeah, I mean within a few weeks, I think.
Yeah, that stuff does go very quickly.
I wanted 55. It didn't sell at that. They made me an offer, I think 35. So, but again, I didn't pay much for it.
Yeah. So I mean, that definitely is a BOLO, no doubt at all. When you can find vintage Alien, that's good as gold, as they say. First item I have up over here. Illustrated London News, November 21st, 1934, night before Christmas, Walt Disney. Now, this is pretty neat. If you take a look in here, it's got Walt Disney, who did a Night Before Christmas story, basically, and it's, Walt Disney Studios art there. And I said, oh, wow, that's going to sell really good. I took a $20 offer on it.
Wow.
I was asking $68. Do you know why?
Because Walt Disney looks like a nun?
The gentleman wanted this. Because he collects, or he's writing a book.
Pavarotti?
Dulcich, I think is the name of the artist, something or other like that.
He just wanted one page?
He wanted a scan of that page.
Oh, wow.
And he asked me, he said, am I allowed to to pay you $20 for a scan? And I said, well, it's out of copyright. I don't have a problem with that part. I said, as long as you make the offer through eBay, so eBay gets their percentage, they're fine with that. Whether I send you the physical item or I send you a scan of it, as long as you and I are happy and they got their cut, they don't care.
Well, I always say it's not a scam to scan through eBay.
I've heard you say that today. So I ended up now, I sent him a couple of scans, and he goes, oh, unfortunately, these aren't going to work. They have to be 300 BPI, yada, 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 or DPI, whatever the heck it is. So I had Random Neighborhood Kid come over, and he scanned it the way it had to be scanned, moved my settings back, which was, of course, the big thing for me. Make my settings back the way they were. I sent it to him. He goes, this is absolutely perfect. Thank you. He was happy, and I relisted a magazine.
So the Paperboy originally had trouble delivering, but in the end, the Paperboy did deliver.
Paperboy did deliver in the end. But, so just to let you know, yes, you can do things like that. eBay got their cut. They're happy. It's out of copyright. There's no worries about that over there. Everybody wins on that. And the gentleman got what he wanted as well. And he didn't have to pay the shipping and all that for it, and then do all the work as well himself.
Win-win.
That was win-win. Next up, Saturday Review of Literature, July 1st, 1939, Carl Karmer, Howard Fast. I got a little hungry when I was listening.
It was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. And I wanted to bring this up. I took a $6 offer on it. It did have shipping on it. Probably not even nearly enough shipping. 2008, $3.50 was plenty to ship a magazine.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's not. I really didn't make anything for my time and trouble. That being said, I had it listed at $10. Nobody's going to offer me $20 for it. It was back before I would be worried about price points and all that kind of thing. So $10 I would have been happy with, because I probably paid 50 cents to $1 for it at most, some big lot somewhere or other. But the key is, again, it's been up for 14 years. I finally got somebody that wanted it. And as the auctioneers say at the public auction, if you go to enough public auctions...
That's a big Twinkie?
The other things that auctioneers regularly say at public auctions is, quick, before he changes his mind.
Okay.
They'll close an auction right away if somebody bids on something that they happen to think, somebody bid on that? Quick, before he changes his mind. Which, of course, makes you feel really, really good about your purchase.
Yeah.
but I was happy to see this go because again, it's doing nothing but taking up space, and eventually, what's going to end up happening with the postage going up when it truly did sell at full value in 2032. I would make the same amount of money I made now in 2020.
Yeah,
I very well may when it's $14
to ship it. Yeah.
So,
Jeez.
but that right there illustrates the long tail and something that you've got to be willing to think about when you're doing the long tail. It's not worth my time to go back and tweak those old listings, so you're happy when you make the sale. Next up, speaking of another item, now this shows it didn't sell, but it really did. One sold. This is what it looks like when you use the quantity listing. You still have some left. I know Mr. Magazine does not usually do that. So I have 2 available, and one did sell. $13. For some reason, this issue of Esquire doesn't sell very often, given that I now have 3 of them. And the first one I listed was in 2012. So it took 10 years to sell that one. I've got 2 more. So one will sell in 2032 and one will sell in 2042. So stay tuned. Check in 2032 for the BOLO where I show this again. That should be wonderful.
Who loves that cover, babe?
I see what you did there. But I didn't know if people knew that's what it looked like when you use the multiple and something did sell.
Creepy.
Well, yes. That's the original mini-me.
Yeah, exactly.
Next item we have up over here, Dania, Florida Fishing Tournament Program, 1948, 3rd annual. I only put 3rd annual up because I didn't really know what else to put, and there was still space available. It did sell for $34, though. Just to show that you get something rather like this. I mean, what are most people going to think is more valuable? This or that? People are going to go, oh, Telly Savalas, the magazine.
Yeah.
No, this went for almost 3 times the price in much shorter period of time.
Nice.
So that's kind of why I'm trying to move toward the ephemera stuff, because things like this you can end up selling, making some good money on. Next item, I'm a Rhinestone Cowboy. The Best of Glenn Campbell's Songbook, 1976, piano vocal chords. Why did I list this on eBay? Well, because it would sell.
The photographer hit a horrible angle at his chin.
That is exactly why. I know there are collectors of horrible angles of chin pictures.
God, look at his chin. He looks like that guy from Tango and Cash. The Crimson Chin. Moving on.
The other reason I listed it is, for some reason, I was not able to find this exact cover on Amazon.
I'm sure.
Usually I list stuff, songbooks, sheet music on Amazon first. However, when I'm not able to find it there, I go over to eBay to list it. Still sold for $20, so you cannot argue with that.
Oddly enough, this particular issue or songbook sells for more money with no cover.
You are just relentless today. Wow. Radio City 1990 Rockettes Christmas Spectacular Program Music Hall. If you're watching this right now and you've not gotten your Christmas stuff up, you're probably too late. Christmas stuff is selling. I listed this 2021, probably about this time of year in 2021, because I knew, guess what's coming around in 2022?
Santa with a creepy smile on his face.
And Christmas.
Yes.
You're going to be on his naughty list.
I've been on his naughty list for decades. Well, 20 years since I got married.
Anywho, but yeah, do get your Christmas stuff up. It does sell. This did go for $24, and it's just a little, I don't know, 16-page program, 20-page program. Great item, digest size. Mysterious, you have to buy it to find out how many pages. That's always a very, very mystery pack.
We'll never know.
And last but not least, Tracks Chesapeake and Ohio Railway, July 1949, Logan, West Virginia. $32, got a bid on it. I put it up for auction. Did sell at auction for $32. It doesn't look like much of anything. I mean, it's a 80-page little booklet, monthly, and sold for $32. And obviously, given it is July 1949, they probably did a August 1949, and probably September, and so on. These are out there. They definitely are out there. And you're not going to pay a lot for it. You can get $32 for something other just like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Hopefully you got a couple of chuckles out of today's show. Hopefully you can do us the favor hitting the like button. And we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.